Did you know that the first giant temples in the Americas are as old as the pyramids of Giza? Welcome to One Word History, the history lesson where all you need to remember is a single word. This is the story of the word potato. In this episode, we're going to take a look at another area of South America that developed agriculture, maybe even entirely independently from the Amazon region. This area is the Andean mountain range, which runs along the entire western coast of South America and is home to the most famous South American civilizations. Farming in the Andes started around 10,000 years ago in the Altiplano region, in what's now Bolivia. The crops of early Andean farmers were different from the Amazonian ones and included, for example, different varieties of potatoes. They also domesticated wild guanacos and vicuñas, which were selectively bred into the llamas and alpacas we know today. From the Altiplano, farming spread quickly, and around 2600 BCE, one of the most technologically advanced civilizations of its time appeared further north, under the coast of today's Peru. This was the Caral superculture, named after its largest archaeological site, Caral. They built huge pyramid-like temples, kind of similar to the ones we'll see much later in the Mayan or Aztec cultures. The Caral super people were building those temples at the same time the ancient Egyptians were building the Great Pyramid of Giza, more than 4,500 years ago. We don't know which language the Caral super people spoke, since they left no written records, and today's Andean languages can't be traced back that far. But some researchers believe they might have spoken an ancestor of what would become the most widely spoken language of the Andes, Quechua. As far as we can safely reconstruct, Quechua itself originated much later, about 2,000 years ago, a bit south of the ancient Caral site, deeper in the mountains. We can even reconstruct the Proto-Quechua word for potato, papa. Over the following centuries, Quechua spread across large parts of the Peruvian and Bolivian Andes and nearby coast. Around 1200 CE, Quechua-speaking people built one of the largest empires in South America, the Inca Empire. And once again, when the Spanish came into contact with this civilization, they not only adopted the potato, but also the Quechua word for it, papa. Even today, Spanish speakers in South America say papas instead of patatas. But Quechua wasn't the only Andean language. Another major one was Aymara, which emerged around 500 BCE in the area around today's Bolivia-Peru border. The word for sweet potato in Aymara is kumara. You might also know the Aymara people for the famous Nazca lines, those giant geoglyphs of animals and patterns that you can best see from the air, which purpose is still a mystery. And while most English speakers don't recognize the word kumara unless you are from New Zealand, this word might actually be a clue to one of the biggest questions in history. Were the Americas really isolated for millennia, like history books tell us? Find out in part 3